parecer ya van a empezar. Vamos a ver si de aquí. Saludos. Ya están a punto de empezar aparentemente. Fueron invitados a algunas personas de la comunidad anglo, más que nada organizaciones y demás que están patrocinando también esto. Acabo de ver el cónsul también, parece que llegó también, está a punto de empezar todo. Vamos a ver. Un ratito estaré, pero bueno, saludos para la gente que pues igual no puede acompañarnos, pero están aquí, ¿verdad? De esa manera. Los dejo de todas maneras y pues muchas gracias. Bueno, para mi familia, para mi mamá, mi papá que están en Veracruz, pues que no, obviamente por obvias razones no pueden venir, pero saludos. Pensé que iba a ser algo más pequeño. Hola, ¿cómo están? Muy bien. Ya a empezar, creo. Comenten si se escucha bien, por favor. Creo que no hay nadie conectado, pero bueno, ahí lo voy a dejar de todas maneras. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you so much. It's always effective. Before we begin tonight, thank you so much for coming. Before we start tonight's program, I would like to thank, first of all, our sponsors. This event is sponsored, the presenting sponsor for this event is Zyno Family Foundation. They have been supporting us for the last few years. Ever since we started our organization, it seems like they have been with us. And this is one of the events they have sponsored over the years. So they are the presenting sponsor. And we also want to thank the Collins Foundation for their sponsoring this event as well. They have been sponsoring us for the last 3 years. And we really are grateful for all of them to support us throughout this our history. I also want to thank Place for keeping us and asking us to come every year. We come here every year, twice, actually every year, but we also do other programming, and it feels like it's our home. And I was given strict guidance not to thank them too much, except to thank the interns. You've probably seen all the interns, high school interns, who have been working very hard, and they just graduated from high school. One of them is still in high school. They are doing a great job. Please give them a warm hand for doing all the hard work. even though I have been told not to talk about them, I'm going to say thank you, Carol, thank you, JP, thank you, Mauricio, for having us here, and they're always great. So I just want to make sure what a wonderful space. We are here every year. You know, every week, it seems like every month, they have an exhibition going on, community gathering towards, you know, all kinds of things, arts and culture, with the care they carry, and this is a perfect space for this community at this time. So thank you so much. Thank you for all of you guys out here for tonight. I know there's a lot of things going on here. It's a beautiful weather, 72 today outside, and it means a lot to us for you spending the evening with us. And it's very important for you to bear witness to all the stories and also the lived experiences of all the people who have been here. So thank you so much. And I want to talk about the name first. The Dreams Deferred come from a title of from a poem written in 1951, about more than 70 years ago. That is about 13, 14 years before the civil rights movement was passed as an act in 1964. And the poem is called Harlem. It's written by Langston Hughes. The very first line, starts with, what happens to a dreams that is, that is deferred. And 50 years exactly after that, a Dream Act was proposed in Congress, and there was a lot of discussion, and it talks about, pathways to citizenship for a lot of Americans, millions of Americans who came here as a child and lived here, and this is the only place for most of them they have seen and known as home. And of course, that Dream Act never passed as a law, and it is still, people talking about it. Every election year, they will talk about immigration reform. Nothing has happened. So this exhibition intentionally connects those two, and say, 70 years later, the question that Langston Hughes asked, what happens to the dream that is deferred, is what we are reflecting on today. I hope you take the time to reflect upon the questions he asked, and that is relevant today as much as it was 70 years ago. This exhibition has got a lot of, 5 folks in this exhibition. They all came from different, Mexico and Venezuela and El Salvador, and they all came, most of them came as a child, and some of them are in a privileged position, but most of them are still in a place where their life is still uncertain, and that's what this is all about. So we are going to talk about all the artists involved as well. We are going to talk to the participants. There are 4 artists involved in this one. My collaborator, Jim Lomaston, I don't know. Jim, can you come up here? Jim has been working with... Jim has been working with us for a long time. And, this exhibition, Dreams Deferred, had a lot of different, people it featured. It started right after the Immigrant Story started, which is in 2017. Right after the first inauguration of the current president, he rescinded the DACA, and we started collecting stories. Me and Jim started collecting stories of immigrants, Oregonians who came here. We have more than 50 stories, and this is a brand new exhibition. And Jim just asked, what is one object you carried with you when you came to this country? And that is the part of this exhibition. We have 5 of them here, but Jim, can you tell a little bit about what is this all about?
Yeah, in about 2000, I think it was 2009, I wanted to know what Iraqi refugees, I wanted to hear their stories. And it followed a book that I was doing with American soldiers who fought in Iraq and Afghanistan. And I just felt that I knew that when you flee your homeland, you can only take so much. It might be a kid under each arm and a Quran and a family snapshot, could be a teacup, but I asked people if I could photograph an object that they carried, and then I made a print with white space around it, and I asked them to write directly on the photograph about that object and why it was so important. And so I've been following through with these projects, and you're seeing this one today, where people tell their stories, but they're stories about things that were so important they brought that, but that's just part of the story. The second part of the story is what you're leaving behind, and that's everything else. That's your relatives, your university, your religion, all the things that you've collected over the years, and your entire culture, and you're moving to a country that you don't even speak the language. And so that's been the theme of what I've been doing for the last 15 years. And so when Sankar and I did the project similar to this a couple years ago, we worked with a community, and it was mostly about DACA. Everybody in this project almost everybody is undocumented. And so it's the same kind of storytelling where people give me an object, I photograph it, and they write or draw on the object. I'll just talk about one, and it's Claudia's book. And that book is composed of letters and messages that people wrote to her when she was leaving. And I asked Alessandra at Place here to pick out a page, because I can only show one, that would be representative. And so I just thought she would read these and tell me what page. And Alessandra fell in love with the stories, and she transcribed every page. I only needed one. And so this is one. I could have chosen 12 of them. But when I read the translations, I realized just how much people love Claudia. And when I think of someone doing that, just having people write, it's part of your memory, it's part of their memories. And I've seen the exact same kind of thing with a high school Iraqi girl who came to Chicago. And before she left, she had a little Hello Kitty book that people wrote messages of love to her. And so leaving home is such a transition that I can't even imagine. And so as we give people this opportunity to tell their stories in their own ways, I think it really brings us closer.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you.
Oliver, are you here? Oliver, can you come up? Oliver. So we started working with Oliver Casillas for the last month or so, and he is a muralist. He is a modern illustrator, and for this exhibition, we said we cannot do mural and leave it there. So we wanted to move this exhibition to different places where it may go. Next, it's going to Oregon Historical Society in September. So he came up with an innovative idea, and I want you to talk about a little bit about your inspiration, why you made this art, what it means to you.
First of all, thank you so much, Shankar, please, for the invitation. This is a piece that I did, and when first Shankar and the team told me the main idea of the exhibition, I was thinking over and over and over what to do. Like, how can I show like in just one piece many stories that we all share, or many of us share in here. And I started like thinking about what was the last border that we all had to cross, like physically and also as a path. physically is a border with Mexico, but also as a path. In every single story, the desert represents like that journey, you know? And that's why I represented the journey, also the huaraches and the culture as a culture that we always hold with us. I have mine in here. And also that message that is not only for every migrant in here, but also for myself. Like, I'm also a migrant. I also migrated. So that's how I connected everything with this exhibition, and I think this can relate to all of us that somehow migrated to other places, even countries, cities, or families and culture. So yeah, this is what I do.
I want to go over here. Roberto is from Salem, Oregon. He's also a mural artist, and he talks. You know, he is like been working with us for a while now. And this photograph was taken by Karen, who just left. She has multiple engagements tonight, so she was here all this time. But anyway, say a few words about what you're doing, about yourself.
My name is Roberto. I came from Salem today. Actually, I came for the comment to do a mural. So the universe is working in favor of me. So yeah, I don't think many people know me here in Portland, but I've been working in some organizations in Mano Mano, Pecun, Salem, Woodward, and well, here I try to draw my personal journey to the United States. I came from a small town in Oaxaca. I saw too many struggles. I don't want to go into too many details, but I saw people are struggling physically, mentally, spiritually. The tissue represents kind of motivation, because I didn't realize until I came to the United States, I put too many attention to this image until I started to, kind of pray, and I saw that it seems like he's running, the saint. That's exactly what I did before I was running to survive, and things. I don't think there is a coincidence. I became more spiritual during my journey, and this painting here, it's from dark to the light, because the past is already. That was my youngest experiences are behind, and I'm heading to a new place and a new experiences, new people. But yeah, I think that's all I can say. Thank you.
And that photograph right there is also Paola. She's also from Salem. She's a culture keeper, she's a tradition keeper. She teaches the traditional Mexico dance folklore. And why don't you say a few words about what you do, how you keep the tradition alive in Salem?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Paola Somoza Maciel, and I would like to also thank Soundcard first of all for this amazing opportunity that you're giving us to present and to basically give us our voice, to share to the community, and to also, even though it's hard, And like it says, living in the shadows, sometimes it could be difficult for many of us, but it's also a resilient way for us to show that we are here and that, you know, we are doing positive things in our community. We're providing, and we that's one of the things I want to be able to represent. So coming here to the U.S. As a child, it has never been easy, you know, moving to a different country. And I wanted to, it was hard not knowing the language, not knowing the culture, but you have to adapt to it. And I learned to adapt, and I was lucky enough that I attended an elementary school that it was bilingual, and that I was able to learn Spanish and English. And it's never easy leaving your full culture, your roots. And so when I was 15 years old, I decided to start a dance group in my high school to continue showcasing tradition and my culture part of me. So that group grew up, and a few years later, we officially started our own 501c3 nonprofit in Salem, where we currently have about 60 dancers, in which we teach from 4-year-olds up to adults. Our oldest dancer is 65 years old, and where we teach traditional dances, culture, but we also put cultural events for our communities. We also attend other cultural events in our communities. As a matter of fact, everybody's invited to the World Beat Festival in Salem this weekend, where we'll be representing our culture. But it's a way for us to showcase who we are and part of our roots and our cultural identity. And I wanted to continue this because it was a way for showcasing who we are, and you know that we are doing something positive for ourselves and for the new generations. And it's beautiful to know when we get to see the younger generations very proud of or learning. Some of them are born here in the U.S., may never have the opportunity to go where their parents are from, but at least when they're in the dance group and they get to learn something about that music or that costume or that tradition or that event, that it brings back memories. One of the things is I'm lucky enough to have my family here. I have my children here, my husband, I have my mom, my aunts, uncles, brothers, sister-in-laws here. So it's nice that, you know, one of the things is my kids got to go and experience Mexico 2 years ago, and it was their first time going to Mexico. But for them, knowing that they had already been immersed in all this cultural knowledge here, they didn't feel like they were foreigners in their own country or in their own culture. They feel very proud of who they were. They feel very proud, and we are proud that, you know, we're raising 2 bilingual kids, and for them to feel proud of who they are, where they come from, and to always know that they're gonna have, you know, they're gonna have their parents that are here to support them as well. And even though it's hard, especially being a DACA recipient and living under the uncertainties of the political environment we live in, we're not gonna give up, and we're here because we are here to provide and to do something positive for our future and our communities. So thank you, Saka.
Thank you very much. And let's move to this side, and